So clearly, as soon as the Gladiator hit, you had a bed, everybody's got to think rack. You know, how are you going to utilize all that space? And particularly even in the Overland theme. So we went with a very modular concept as far as how this thing's going to bolt together and future options. Knowing that in that community, there's no way you can guess what's most important to that customer of ours, what they're going to want to carry. You want mat tracks, you want a high lift jack mount, you want shovels, or are you just going to want to bolt an awning to the side of this thing? It's really endless. So it gives as many options as possible right out of the box. That's why we have these 4-bolt flanges all over this thing. It's a universal pattern, so that even allows us to have future options we can launch, but same for you. It's very easy to replicate that, bolt anything you want to it. And furthermore, just have flat surfaces everywhere that are prone for drilling and bolting. The rack includes 3 crossbars, but you can continue purchasing crossbars to the extent that you want to deck the top of this. You know, it's adding weight, but yet again, you don't know what you're going to put up there and what the span is in between. So it gives you that option. You'll also see there's bolts on the inside and gussets to each one of the uprights. That's ideally for just using a ratchet strap or hook to, but the more I've looked at this, I've envisioned cross members, trays, things that I don't think Fab Force is going to necessarily bring to market soon, but they're very easy to fabricate to build whatever you're going to want to. Heck, you could even do that out of wood if you had. One awesome thing about the way that this is mounted is it retains that factory rail, which gives you all those options as far as tie downs and sliding that back and forth. It's really cool. Normally you would sacrifice, pick one or the other. To have those integrated is cool. Gen 1, what you see is what you get. You know, you got to add the lights separately, but it's got a top rack on top of 2 side bars. What's really cool about this is the next generation. So there will be a whole subset that only wants to be behind the cab. I mean, there's a lot of advantages to that because you can still pull the tops easy. These are so lightweight, you can do it yourself these days. And it's basically not giving you up any of the versatility of the Gladiator itself. However, as you can see, a rooftop tent pretty much dominates the entire rack, taking away further storage. And you're limited on some of the tent sizes. We are also going to have a full width rack. And the cool innovation that we intend to do here is this exact same top piece will now become the front. So all you have to buy is a riser secondary rear, which will be really cool. You know, in order to have the best part at each way, that was the perfect blend. Otherwise, if you had intentions to go forward in the future, this would have been taller than the cab. So this allowed us to have the perfect look when you're pre-cab, but then when you go to the front, we'll make up that height discrepancy in this middle piece. So it'll be this tall with the jog, and that'll be the bolting face that allows this to become the front. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to have that thing. And you can just load the heck out of it. You know, for doing passes out in Colorado and some of those trails, and even over where we are on the East Coast, just hitting the Smoky Mountains, going to the Burning Rocks and some of those places, you're not going to be so extreme that you got to worry so much about the weight, which allows you to worry about the comfort and the camping element. And I think it's pretty awesome that you can just have a rig sitting in your driveway, loaded up, ready to go with everything for a weekend. Throw the kids in, dog in, hit the trail, and just like we did, throw down some camp chairs, pop up the tent, and you're set for the weekend.
Guys, Matt here from BuiltRight Industries. Today I'm going to show you a little bit about our bedside rack system. This is our 2016 F-150. As you can see, it's a short box, but these will fit any length box. So what you see here is the rear passenger side panel and the forward panel, the rear passenger side panel being a little bit larger. And then on this side we've got our Rotopax 3-gallon fuel cell mounted up here using the Rotopax mount. And then on this side we've got, of course, our Crazy Beaver shovel, aka the murder spork. So these racks come in a full set or individually. They mount using the 4 or 6 OEM mounting locations and hardware that are coming with your truck. Those are intended for use with the box link. Now it's important to note, and we'll show you some close-ups, but the box link cleats are still able to be installed, and box link accessories, depending on the accessory, are still able to be used. Okay, so now we're on the driver's side. Again, we've got a large rear panel. This is specific to the driver's side. We'll show you some close-ups again, but it's got a cutout for your light switch if you have the bed lights. And then we have the forward panel. This panel is the same regardless of which side of the truck it's on. On this side, we've used exclusively quick fist clamps, a combination of the original clamps, the super clamps, the long arm clamps, to mount a few different accessories. As you can see, we've got a high lift off-road jack, trusty Fisker's X27 wood splitting axe, and then of course a fire extinguisher. Now the point of this is not that these are all things that I typically use, but in the spirit of being prepared and being ready for sort of anything, I don't know, necessarily a prepper, apocalyptic scenario kind of thing, but say you're on a gas or you need see somebody that needs digging out, what have you. The idea here is to know what you have and have it ready for use.